could have seen coming the fact that, yes, Aaron Rodgers, after everything that happened with drafting Jordan Love and the 2 years since then, coming up on the 2-year anniversary next month of the draft where he's sitting at home in the pandemic, couple fingers deep into his nightly drink, and he sees the Packers are trading up to take his replacement. And he's like, what's up with that? And then 2 years later, he's finally signed long-term at $50 million per, to the point where Jordan Love may not see another snap for their Green Bay Packers. And he's all kumbaya at the front office. And who knew, while the front office had spent 2 years mending fences with him, they let the fence with Davante Adams fall completely apart. That last year when Davante Adams said, I want to be paid, I'm not playing on a franchise tag. I want to be paid long term, and I want to be paid annually more than what DeAndre Hopkins is getting paid in Arizona. And I don't want to hear your interpretation, along with the rest of many other front offices in the NFL's interpretation, that the annual salary of Julio Jones is really the highest of any receiver. I don't care about your new money, old money, whatever money it is in terms of the way you're looking at a contract. I'm seeing the number $27.5 million that DeAndre Hopkins is making. That's what I want. And Green Bay's kind of like, all right, well, we'll play it out. All right, we'll hit you with the franchise tag, or slap you, as you know. That's how we say it here in the Rich Eisen Show. And the rest of the NFL media that's placed the franchise tag on somebody who doesn't mind it and slapped on the ones that do. And we're just assuming Rodgers is coming back. That means they're going to run it back with Davante Adams. And certainly the money that they're saving with Aaron Rodgers, they're going to give to Davante Adams. And apparently they were giving it to Davante Adams, and he said, I don't want it.
Which is odd.
I don't want it. Didn't you hear last summer there was a bit of a kerfuffle, a ruffling of feathers, when Derek Carr, former Fresno State quarterback, said he would love to play again with Davante Adams, who was not only his wide receiver at Fresno State, but roommate and top-notch BFF. Would love to play with him again. And Davante Adams laughed and said, you know what, I'm still a Green Bay Packer. When it was brought to him last summer, I'm still here, but let's see what happens. It would be a dream to have a reunion. Well, the dream's now a reality, because he was able, with the franchise tag on him, to tell the Packers, I don't want your money. I'm not playing for your money. I'm not playing under that tag, and I'm not playing under the money that you're doing to try and remove the tag from. Too late. I want to go to the Las Vegas Raiders, who apparently was interested in the trade until they weren't, and then they were. And they're paying him quarterback money. Cool. And they're coughing up a 1 and a 2 to Green Bay in this year's draft. They're like, we'll see you late Friday night. Just like the Rams. We'll see you late Friday night in the draft. And we've got number 17 to hook up with Derek Carr. And I'll say this, another shocker in this non-playing season is Josh McDaniels comes in and not only says, with all the rumors floating about, I heard at the Combine, Colts have got to be interested in Derek Carr, and the Raiders have got to be interested in sending him to the Colts. That, guess what? After all these years of is Carr good enough? Is Carr the guy? Can Carr be the guy? They bring in Josh McDaniels and a new regime, and they are all the way in with him. All the way in with him. We're going to get you Davante Adams. We're going to get you your old college friend back. And we're going to work. We're going to work. And this is the exact maneuver that wherever he is right now, Al Davis is smiling and cackling and saying, throw deep, baby.
Just win, baby.
Throw deep. Go long. Yes, sir. Go for it. And the AFC West is off the hook.
Throw deep, baby.
It's a little late.
I know.
Although we'll play a Tom Hanks drop anytime. AFC West is insane.
Yeah.
The new deep end of the pool was NFC West. It's now the AFC West. You can thank Russell Wilson, and you can thank Randy Gregory, and you could thank Khalil Mack and J.C. Jackson, and now Davante Adams. Are you kidding me? And what a plot twist, because apparently Rodgers knew Adams was not happy. Of course, it's been over a year. Just listen to my colleagues at the NFL Media Group, Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero. Both of them together are saying, this guy on your screen, Davante Adams, pissed that the Packers didn't give him all that money. And now they finally did. And he's like, too late. Too late. If you'd come to me last year with that, we'd be in good shape. Dream to play as a Raider, dream to be a Raider, dream to be Derek Carr. Raider Nation should be out of their skull. Chandler Jones to go hunt down all those other quarterbacks in that division. Russ, Herbert, Mahomes to go with Max Crosby and to put points on the board. Give Derek Carr his favorite receiver he's ever had, with all due respect to everyone else, and have Waller do his thing and Josh Jacobs do his thing. Build the line with the rest of your draft, and off you go. Vegas, baby. Love it. And what a plot twist, again, that Rodgers stays, Adams goes. And again, Rodgers knew when he signed on a dotted line, apparently he knew Adams wasn't happy, thought that at some point he would just come back. And now it's back to square-ish, one-ish. Back in the day, with all due respect to, all the receivers that Rodgers played with and won a championship with one year, there was nobody like Davante Adams in that championship year and the years building up to Adams coming out of Fresno State. Good receivers, Pro Bowl-ish receivers. Back to that square one. You're hearing the Packers are saying they're going to be aggressive to try and build up that receiving core. Okay, let's see. I saw a bunch of kids who were speed burning at the combine. I saw a bunch of kids that were good. Or as I tweeted out yesterday in First Blush, it's going to be lit when the Packers don't use any of their picks on a receiver, like old times.
Kind of have to now, right?
Like the old days. You kind of have to, you'd think.
Or what? Jarvis Landry, one of these
they're
veteran guys who are out there, Cole Beasley.
You know who none of them are? Davante Adams in 2022 is a 29-year-old becoming a 30-year-old. I understand long in the tooth, 30-year-old, whatever. None of them's the best receiver in the game, and none of them have the sixth sense with 12 built into their DNA.
Nope. You can't just find Davante Adams at the store, Rich. You can't go get a loaf of bread, a carton of milk, and a stick of Davante. It just you can't
believe, and I'm sure Packers fans are stunned, and I know they're like, well, they got a 1 and a 2, so they've got, 4 of the first 59 choices in the draft? That's great. That's great when you're building for the future. Guess what Rodgers didn't want to do and doesn't want to do and has no countenance for doing is building for the future. That's why you're putting everything on a credit card. That's why you're putting everything on the credit card now. Everything about Rodgers signing his contract was all about, it's going to be ugly when he goes. They're going to have to pay the salary cap reaper. I honestly can't believe Rodgers finally stays and Adams is like out. Because while they were mending the Rodgers fence, they let the other fence with Adams apparently fall into disrepair. I don't know. You have to figure that you can mend fences. Multiple fences.
Can't mend both sides of the fence. Is that what we're...
No, I don't, just like there's a in the Green Bay property that Mike knows so well because he has 2 pieces of Green Bay stock. You should be outraged as an owner of the team. That one fence, borders. It's the most important fence with Rodgers, and then the second most important fence is with Adams. You got to keep the 2 of them together, right? You talk about Manning to Harrison. You could talk about everything, right? Yeah. Marino to Duper, all those years. Montana to Rice, Rodgers to Adams. How many times is just like you need a first down and they just kind of give each other the wink and a nod? First down. The guy's wide open. Like, wait a minute. You know which route he's going to run or which 2-3 routes he's going to run? You heard Ray Lewis say earlier this week, tremendous behind-the-scenes X's and O inside the game conversation about him thinking about going against Brady and Peyton Manning. I know what you're going to do. You know I know what you're going to do, and I know that you know that, and you know that I'm going to deliver punishment to whoever you're delivering it to because I know it and you know I know it, so you got to deliver it on time. That's the game within the game between all-time greats, and Davante Adams and Rodgers had it. Crazy that is a development.
Crazy.
Off the charts, the first week and a half of NFL free agency. It's the Friday after after it all got started, right? So it being rumors and conjecture and what have you. Russell Wilson was a week and a half ago.
I know. It feels like months ago.
Right?
Yeah.
Crazy. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.